Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're checking out Happymodel's Mobula6 ExpressLRS 2.4 GHz edition. I'm Jeff with Titan FPV. Let's get to it. It's running Happymodel 0702 26,000 kV motors, the Runcam Nano 3 with the new lens. It's running the Crazy BX all-in-one board with 5 amp ESCs with the ceramic antenna for the 2.4 gigahertz ExpressLRS. It's got a built-in 200 milliwatt Vtx with a detachable dipole antenna. For props, we're running these HQ 31 millimeter bi-blades. Quick note, guys, if you aren't already subscribed, please do so. Helps this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. We're getting close to 1,000 subs. I do really appreciate your support. Let's see what else you get in the box. 4 300 milliamp hour 1S HV lipos, a screwdriver, prop tool, and an extra set of props. Looks like some miscellaneous screws, a 1S USB charger, and some Happymodel stickers. I know what you're saying. The Happymodel Mob 6 is nothing new, Jeff. It's been out for a while. It has, but this is the ExpressLRS version. This differs from the original, where it could be a Spectrum, Fly Sky, or FR Sky with a built-in Spi receiver. This one, as I stated in the quick roll, a ceramic 2.4 gigahertz antenna for ExpressLRS. Also on the original model, the VTX only went up to 25 milliwatt. This one goes all the way up to 200 milliwatts. The biggest takeaway for me, besides the power level, is it has a replaceable UFL antenna. So if this one breaks in a crash, or you want to upgrade this to a left or right hand circular polarized, such as like a micro axis or a true RC singularity, you can do that. And it's plug and play. It plugs right here onto the board. One thing to note, they did have this antenna routed initially just out the back. I feel like that might get damaged and you're going to get worse reception because most of the time you're going to be flying angle forward. You want your VTX antenna up. A good idea to run it at a 45-degree angle if you can. I just removed this antenna and rerouted it up through the canopy. It's using I believe it's the same canopy that the original Mobula6 is using. It's pretty durable and lightweight. One thing to note, that my Mobula6, the original one, shipped with the original lens on the Runcam. This is the replacement lens, but I believe this is even a different lens that comes on the Mobula 7. I'll post a link for that review, but this one offers a wider field of view in my opinion. The original was great, but if you crashed it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get consistent jello out of your footage. You're going to get a lot of vibrations coming through in your video feed. This one also has the board routed where you see the USB connector, still micro USB. It's coming out the front of the board, so they have adjusted the orientation 180 degrees. You know, typically that would be running out the back of the frame there. This is, I believe, the same frame. This is just coming in a green color. They do offer a 900 megahertz version. That's the only 2 varieties that they currently offer. So I believe Happymodel is switching exclusively to ExpressLRS for their SPI boards. So that's something to consider if you have a radio that runs Fly Sky or FR Sky. You may have to pick up a new module to fly these newer whoops. The other biggest change are these motors. These are 0702 and they're 26,000 kV. So these are a little bit smaller. They're higher RPM, and you'll notice that in the flight characteristic. This one is running Betaflight 4.3 beta. At the release of this video, more than likely, Betaflight will have dropped the official version of 4.3. Just be aware you want to do a backup of your settings there in your CLI. There is a dump available online. I'll post a link in the video description for that. I did fly this primarily on my TBS Tango 2 with Happymodel's Slim Pro module. One thing to note, the Tango 2's module bay does not currently support the quickest refresh rate, so it does not support 500 Hertz. Per the manual on the Mobula6 ExpressLRS, it's set to 500 Hertz by default. That's a problem with the Tango 2 because it will only go up to 250 Hertz. As far as usability, that's not an issue, but when you're trying to pair the quad for the first time, it will make for some difficult pairings. Now, how you pair the Spi receivers with ExpressLRS, the easiest way, there is a bind button in the receiver tab of Betaflight. You can go into the Betaflight configurator and hit your bind button there in that tab, and then just hit bind via the Lua script on your radio. And then it should bind up. But like I stated, this radio won't do 500 Hertz. There's only a few that will currently. You have to be running one of the newer versions of OpenTX or EdgeTX to run 500 Hertz. There are some CLI commands that you can type. I'm going to put those on the screen here to set this to 250 Hertz. Once I set that to 250 Hertz, I did not have an issue pairing the Mobula. As I stated, this model is running a beta version of Betaflight 4.3. It does not have RPM filtering enabled. That means it's even less efficient than the original Mobula with these higher RPM and smaller 0702s versus the 0802 19,000 kVs, or in my case, the race edition has the 0802 25,000 kV. Now, I've shown a video on how to flash RPM filtering on that original Mobula. If that's something you want me to enable on this one and do a video, post down in the comments and I'll see about making that happen. I was getting about 2 to 2.5 minutes depending on my flight style with this setup, with the stock setup, with these 1S300 HV Happymodel batteries. Now, I also flew it on these NewBie nitro nectars. If you're no stranger to whoops, you know that these are the best in the business. These are not the HVs. These are the 250 milliamp. I was getting around 1:45 to 2 minutes on the 250. And like I stated, 2 to 2.5 minutes on this 300 milliamp hour pack. If you're planning on keeping yourself in the air, I would definitely pick up some more 1S300s. The range on that FrSky SPI version just doesn't compare to the range on the ExpressLRS version. I couldn't fail-safe this quad. You will easily run out of VTX signal before you will run out of control link on this particular quad. As you'll see, I took this one out pretty far. I was running at 250 Hertz refresh rate, and it pretty much stayed at 100% LQ the whole time. The only difference with the frame that I can note is the color. As I said, this one also comes, the 900 megahertz version, in a blue frame. If you do plan on picking those up, I'll post links in the video description. This is a sturdy frame. I haven't broken one yet. This is still the original frame. They did swap some thicker foam, almost looks like goggle foam, styrofoam looks like in the original. And like I said, I was getting jello after a few crashes in this one. I believe there's just a piece inside the lens that breaks. Mad jello in the original versus no issues. Let's get a weight difference for you guys. All right, the original. Now this is running the NewBie bi-blade 31 millimeters. So it looks like you're about 19.4 grams. And the ExpressLRS edition is 19.1 grams. So with the Nitro Nectar 250, looks like we're looking at about 25.6 grams. Supplied lipos, the 300, looks like we're coming in at 26.7 grams. Whoop season is upon us, guys. Which one are you gonna pick? Are you gonna go with the original? I believe this one is slightly cheaper. This one is currently on sale, I believe, on Banggood. I'm gonna post a link in the video description. It's around, I believe, $93. And this one's coming in at, I believe, around $89 to $95. If I had my pick, obviously I'm going to go with the ExpressLRS edition. It's newer. The motor's a little bit less efficient. They still provide plenty of power, maybe even more power than this race edition. Throttle curve is a little bit different, just a little bit higher on the throttle, but you'll get used to that. I did easily. Also, the option to direct swap the antenna is a big deal for me.
Plus the 200 milliwatt power output.
So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll catch you in the next one.